Hey everyone, this is Steve Larsen, and you're listening to Sales Funnel Radio.
Welcome to Sales Funnel Radio, where you'll learn marketing strategies to grow your online business using today's best internet sales funnels. And now, here's your host, Steve Larsen.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? I am super excited today because I have a special guest on, and it's not too often that I get to go interview someone as amazing as Liz Tennyson. How are you doing?
I'm amazing. Hi, everybody.
Good. You know, I'm laughing still because I know I just told you this, but a lot of people that I interview, you know, it's kind of early in the morning, and they're either kind of like half dead still or just not very lively, and you're already making me laugh, so this is good. Well, Liz, I was wondering just right off the bat, okay, so the first time I saw you online, I think it was in the ClickFunnels certified page, and you were like just dropping these huge value bombs, and I was like, oh my gosh, who is this lady? She's killing it. I was wondering, could you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with funnels in general?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you didn't, I was going to say I'm glad you didn't mention, but then I'm going to mention it. My first post in there was me with my silly, I guess it was one of the physical products, the book that Russell sends out with one of his products. I can't even remember which one, but I never get mail. And so it was so fun to get something like in the mail. And so then I had posted it in the certified partner group, and people were laughing at me. So the reason the way I got started with the certification program really just started this spring. I was struggling I had my funnel set up, but I was using so many different systems and so frustrated because it was taking me forever. I'm one of those people that I like to figure it out on my own, especially even before I'm hiring somebody to do it. And so I was still trying to figure out how to get everything up. And I found ClickFunnels. I can't even remember who said, Liz, like, you need to, get your head on straight and simplify. And that month I moved all my funnels over, and we had a really fantastic month. And so then I kind of started going, this is pretty incredible how fast I can create things. I'm an action taker. And so then from there,
You're everywhere.
It just kind of progressed into, I was telling people about it, right? I was telling people really they should be using ClickFunnels. And then the opportunity for the certified partner came up, and it just seemed natural.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best time. I have so many things going on with my book and my actual business. But it's one of those things that I just had to do. So
now, what is your actual business, or what is it that takes your time, I guess?
So I am a holistic health coach and a personal trainer. I run an organization called I'm a Fit Mormon.
Cool. And
so my niche is obviously Mormon women, moms that I help stay healthy and fit.
Cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, ClickFunnels obviously has played into that a lot. And Russell and I have been talking a lot about this. It's so hard to define what a funnel is to someone who has no idea what they are, and it's a challenge to do this. So was it for you easy to, make the transition over?
Well, for me it was. I think I've been doing business for so many years, even when I owned a FedEx franchise in my 20s.
Jeez.
I mean, it was the same thing in the real life, right? Like, you have to know how to just transition a client throughout your process. And so once I understood how that worked, it just kind of is putting it into the online forum. So even when I help my clients, I know exactly step 1, step 2, step 3. And I think that if somebody can get that concept, kind of step back from ClickFunnels for 10 minutes and say, what do I actually want to do for somebody? What am I actually doing for somebody? And then you can build a funnel that can do that process. So it kind of seemed natural to me. I take about, I think last week I took maybe 2 to 3 hours and kind of wrote out, the process that I really wanted, where I could really serve somebody better if I was to create this type of funnel, if I was to create, a really good sales page. It has to be good, because then I want them to use my product that can actually change their life. So I think if you step back for just a little bit and do that process, then the funnel building is a lot easier.
That's so interesting you say that, because what am I doing for someone else and how can I serve them? That's such a good question to start with, because so many of us, I mean, we all want to make money, but
right.
when somebody makes that the pure focus, it's really, really hard to actually make the money on there, because it's like, I almost feel like it's a dog smelling fear. Everyone can tell when you're just there to pull their credit card out of their wallet,
Yeah, well, and you end up with a sales page. It's like, buy from me, and nobody knows, like, where did I find this guy that's just selling, like just selling me his stuff. And that works if maybe like you have, like, I could do that with my community because they love me and they know I put out good stuff. So I could build a page that says like, hey, buy my next thing.
Yeah.
But it's taken me 2 years to be able to do that. And I don't do that because I want them to understand what the product's actually going to do for them and the process it's going to take them from. So even though I could pitch a product and make money, it still doesn't serve my community the best. And at some point, like, that's going to start to diminish if I'm not actually serving them in some way. So
I mean, it seems like every entrepreneur goes through that, though, because obviously you get into make the money, but you're saying that it sounded like there was a point where you kind of bridge the gap between, buy, and then over to help.
Yeah, well, I go through a lot of different scenarios. So
Sure.
When I started, I thought it was going to be like a nonprofit, right? Because I'm like,
yeah.
I felt like, oh, I'm such an amazing person and I'm just going to give. And then that doesn't really work if you don't actually go to be a nonprofit and there's no money coming in from like anybody, that wants to advertise.
Yeah.
So then I had to figure out a new way that I could serve people. And that was like writing programs and being able to coach people through the process. So at some point, even if it works, on the front end, at some point you have to cultivate. That's what I love about ClickFunnels too, is the culture. It's really, I'm a pretty loyal person. So I've been married 19 years. I have my 4 kids and I've been a member of my church, my whole life. And I feel like I'm pretty loyal, but it's hard to get me in, right? So a lot of people pitch me. I have, I would say I have great energy. I really love people. So a lot of people pitch me all the time. So it's hard to get me in a community, right? It's hard for me to like commit to a community.
Yeah.
I was on the phone with somebody that was actually pitching me this weekend and saying, oh, Liz, like you would do so much for our community. We really want you. And I said, you know what? I was just at this incredible event for ClickFunnels and like I'm in and I can't really commit to something else because this is where like my heart is right now and this is where I want to be. And this community is growing really fast. And I feel like I have so much that I could give to the community and people that are coming on to learn how to use ClickFunnels and build their own businesses and that kind of stuff. And so, so I just feel like the culture that you build around your product, even if the culture is we build great products, right? So you can keep putting out great stuff that functions well and serves people well, I think is the main bottom line that actually pays so much more on the tail end if you just will look at it that way.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. What about the ClickFunnels community, I guess, made you, that loyal? Most people are in the community, but
well,
they don't usually go vet communities. You know what I mean? That's not something that most people go do.
Not really. And like I said at the very first, like I wasn't really looking for anything. It's not a really, if I were to look at it logically, even my husband's like, Liz, you have your own book coming out, right? Like in like bookstores in January, we have a book tour. I'm in upper level management of my MLM company. I'm traveling around teaching. And so it's not like a great time for me to even do this or commit or anything like that. But I don't know what it was. It was way before the event this weekend. There was that feeling like this is going to be, a lot of these people are going to be my family. It's kind of how I felt. I think maybe in the certified partner program, Nora's done a great job at creating that community with those people. And then when I got there this last weekend, it just I felt so home. I don't know what it is, and I'm not saying it's that way for everybody, and I normally don't do that, but I felt like I got to meet Randall, who was the first person. No, he was the second person after Derek that I was on the phone with for the Certified Partner Program. Okay. And he has the coolest job, right, to sell to people like me. But from that conversation, I sent him a card and all this kind of stuff. I'm sure he thinks I'm a total psycho because I keep telling him thank you. But to meet him
they love it.
To meet him in person was, it meant so much to me. And so, so that, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, why is that? Why would that?
I think, so I've worked really hard. I guess I'll tell you my backstory. So I've worked really hard. I got married at 19. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I've been married 19 years, so we can do the math. We immediately started having babies. And so when you're 19 and you start having babies, you can choose two paths. You can choose college and taking out a whole bunch of student loans to practically live on, right?
Yeah.
Or you can become an entrepreneur. Those are the two choices, as far as I see it. Well, I guess there's a third choice to live with family and
die slow death.
Totally. So my choice was to become an entrepreneur. Awesome. And so miraculously, I was hired as a manager at a bank. I don't even really, looking back, I was 20 years old with a baby, and they, hire me. I worked graveyards while my husband worked days doing construction. Wow. And we were trying to figure out what type of business we were going to start. And so from that process, we bought a franchise. We've done a whole bunch of different things. I love the process of MLM if it's done correctly.
Sure.
And and so I've been building businesses for a long time. And so really after 19 years, gosh, you got me all excited. Having Randall on the phone, I don't know what it was, but it was like the universe is just confirmed. Your hard work matters. You've built up to some really incredible things. And that phone call was one of those pivotal things that he told me on the phone. He says, I don't tell people all this all the time. And he just said, I can tell, Liz, that your life is going to completely change. And my life was already changing. I'm already a hustler. I'm already doing amazing things. I already create that balance between a mom. I'm there for my kids all the time. And I create incredible businesses, so I'm able to keep that balance and do some pretty awesome things. And then when he said that, and it's so funny because I don't normally care about if somebody gives me a compliment, it's not, my ego isn't really connected to a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so for him to say that, normally, I'm used to people pitching me. So normally I'm like, yeah, whatever. Yep. Yes. I know I have charisma and I know you want me on your team,
I know that this is the only time I've been able to do this.
Exactly. And so there was something, I don't know if it was really him or it was just everything was cultivated up until that point. And I was just completely vulnerable. My heart was open to change. That at that moment, it was okay, here we go. I shouldn't make this commitment, but I feel like it's right. So I'm going to, and I'm going to let, everything else ride after this. And so I'm pretty good at making business decisions. I don't chase the shiny object. you know, I'm pretty solid and loyal into the commitments I make. And so it wasn't like it was, yeah, let's just do this, you know, and I wasn't all in. I just, it was, I don't know what it was. It was just good. I don't know, good, solid people, I guess. You know, Russell's built an amazing team. And this weekend, being able to meet so many of those people really, I don't know if you can call it changed my heart. I don't know. It just like made everything so solid. So
that's awesome, because most people do not want to meet their salesman. You know what I mean?
Oh, and it was so funny because my husband's like, well, maybe he's just really good at his job, Liz. Like, maybe he's just really good salesman. And I said, well, he is a really good salesman. Yeah. And I respect that about him. Uh-huh. But he also, like...
But he's a real person, too. He's not being fake with you.
And the connection we had, like, he listened, which is really important to me. If somebody listened, like, he listened to every, you know, single thing. He even asked me, you know, he's like, Liz, like, you're a really exciting person. Like, are you a shiny object type, you know? Yeah. Is this going to be, because he really wanted to build with the certified partner program, people that are committed, people that were a good fit for ClickFunnels. And so, you know, he was vetting me to make sure, you know, that I wasn't flighty and going to take off after I got really excited, because I want people that are going to finish and actually become certified. And, you know, and I was glad that he did that. So,
yeah, you know, I remember, well, I have two thoughts here. Trying to figure out which one to go for. But like, I remember when I went, to that last event, the last Funnel Hacker event, I was actually in college, and it was my last week of college, and I didn't have a way to get there. And so I traded someone a funnel. I built a funnel for them, and they paid for my plane ticket, you know, the ticket to get in, and 2 nights of a hotel. And so I kind of just fended for myself for the others, and stayed up all night in the basement of the Sheraton the last night there. Right. But what was funny is I remember getting on the plane, going there, and just for some reason having that feeling like, I feel like my life is going to change, you know? I didn't work for ClickFunnels at the time. I didn't, you know, Russell had no idea who I was, you know, anything like that. And that's not even like how it changed. It was just something inside, though, for sure, that I don't know what it was. I came back, and that was actually the first time my wife looked at me, and she goes, "You seem happy." And I was like, was I not seeming that way before? Like, I didn't know that I wasn't appearing as happy beforehand. But I guess she was like, it was physical difference, you know. And at the time, I was going to go work for this guy, another guy, and I won't say the name or anything in case he listens to this. But she goes, as soon as I came back, there was some other issue with this other guy I was going to go work for. And she's like, it was like this switch that flipped, and you immediately went back to this other person. And I realized that unless we go try and get you, find a way for you to work for ClickFunnels, like, I want the version of my husband that came home from that event. I don't want the other one. But anyways, I'm digress on that. But I'm just completely agreeing with you. It was a life-changing thing for me, and it's a very special thing for sure. And I wanted to point out and say congrats, by the way, at the last event, you won the best funnel, right?
Thank you. Woo. I'm raising my hands right now.
All right, I am too, actually. Woo!
Taking my virtual reward.
Tell us about it. This is awesome. That's a big deal.
So that was really fun. I knew that we would have, some type of funnel hacking. The people from June's event kind of told me about it. Uh-huh. But until you get there, you don't know what it really is, and you don't know who the business owners are. And so when you get there, the business, you go through the day, and then the business owners tell you a little bit about their business. Uh-huh. And then Nora says, okay, you have until tomorrow morning to build them a functioning funnel. Woo! Right?
Oh, man.
And then tomorrow you will present it to the owners, and, they'll pick a winner, and hopefully we'll get some really great stuff that they can actually use. And so, so that was, and then there was two owners. And so she put names in a hat, and pulled out names who had which he owns a carpet company and a flooring company in Idaho, and he was incredible. His name was Matt. And we got to pick a partner. So somebody had come over and Michelle had said, "Hey, do you want me to be a partner?" And we were super excited. And so then that night you get the opportunity to just sit and talk to the owner. And what was really cool is because I love to listen, right, to what the needs are.
Yeah.
I had to ask him. He's an incredible person, and he's a genius, and he already knows about ClickFunnels. And so he had like 5 ideas, right? Like 5 funnels that he wanted built, but we had to create one. And so the night pretty much consisted of, okay, what funnel is most important? Like, let's get very clear on what funnel is most important to you. And it turns out the funnel that was most important to him was to get people from the area, from Boise Eagle and Meridian, into his store.
Okay.
And so he said that numerous times. So that was the most important. And I love, I know how to do Facebook ads, and I know how to, do targeting and research for that. And so with those skills, we created a funnel that was for him, that was getting people into the store, and it was only for those 3 areas. And we had him do a video for the front page and a coupon that they could bring into the store that after they opted in, they could download the coupon. And then, we showed him a little bit of how to target those homeowners. We showed him how to target different home values with people, so he could run some new ads to get people into his store. So it was really fun. We had a tough competition, though. There were so many talented people there, and when they would go up, I was pretty I don't like to think I'm competitive. Like, I'm okay if I lose. If somebody does an amazing job to beat me.
You're okay losing, but not really.
I'm a good loser. My husband's a terrible loser. So if I often just lose on purpose so we can just stay married. And so I've learned that.
Okay, I've totally done that before.
We almost got divorced, like after this is a tangent, on year 1 from playing Monopoly. Like, it was like, we cannot have this game in our house.
That was with chess with us. Yep. I purposefully have lost many times with that game, because otherwise, anyways, moving on.
Besides that, but there were some really talented people, and as they were going up, I thought, I want to be able to do, this in the next funnel, right? Because they had some really great ideas and really great converting processes. So, and then then the owners, chose the winner. So that was really fun.
Now,
that was really.
I mean, do you mind taking us through the funnel you built and why you did that? I mean, that usually we focus so much on the funnel side. You're like, funnel. It's hearing more about the Facebook ad and how that moved through the funnel. Like, that might be kind of cool, if you don't mind.
Well, so for me, I have a lot of people that, especially in the last couple months, I have highly converting funnels for myself. And so people will say, okay, can you do that for me? And the first thing I say is, do you know who you're selling to? Do you know who you're going to target? Because if I build you a funnel and you don't know who's going to see it, you're not going to make any money.
It's true.
Right? If you drive traffic to it, Russell even talked about this in the first session at the Certified Partner. If you can't drive traffic and have people actually see your funnel, it's going to be really hard for it to convert, because there's going to not be anybody to convert. So, for that process, the first thing we did was find out in the Facebook ads insights there's a way that, obviously this is like a whole class on itself, but there's a way that you can search, homeowners, you can search people even that want to do home renovation, those types of things. That we searched house values. So we did, I think it was 150 to 150 to 275 or something, and then 275 to 500 are the two different groups we had. We targeted women because they're usually the ones making the choice of changing the flooring in the house. We did create, because this business owner, Matt, we're going to figure out for him how to target and speak it correctly without hurting anybody's feelings. But a lot of moms that are nesting, that are having like their first baby, he finds that they come in and, want new flooring. They want to change their house. And so being able to help build him a list of like pregnant moms in the area, that own homes, I think is a pretty targeted group that if you can get the message clear, then it will be a really highly converting funnel for him. And so going through that, the most important thing was that he is amazing, that he gives out like spot cleaner. Like you can go in and for the life of your carpet, you can refill the spot cleaner from him. And so that is an amazing bonus. Was
that a front end or something, or?
No, well, it's a back end to get people to know, like that's the service that's like a bonus that's like unannounced, right? That you just get from him.
Awesome.
The biggest point of the funnel for him though was social proof. He is big in his community. His mom started the company, so they've been around for years. And so, they, right now, all of the traffic they get is from referrals. They have amazing reviews. He has done, before he, came to the event, he had some great SEO done. So he ranks #1 on Google, and he just has a ton of reviews on there that are all amazing. And so social proof was a big deal. So we needed him on the page, right? Him, because he represents the company and he really wants to be known in the area as the expert. No. And so to make a video just about flooring, like, would not have met his needs. And so putting him on the video to introduce himself, to start to cultivate that relationship, to start to cultivate that trust was really important. And then at the top of the page, it said, do you live in, I'll have to look at the funnel again. I think it says, do you live, but, or are you from Boise, Meridian, or Eagle?
Clever.
Right? Because he doesn't want any leads from anywhere else.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
If they get to that page and they're not from that, then they'll go away, right?
Yeah.
And so he's going to get leads that are not targeted. He's not going to get leads that are going to waste his time and waste their time, right? If they're not from that area, they're not going to need his flooring. And he doesn't want to expand, because he knows that the area he lives in is big enough that he doesn't have to expand to different areas besides those three. And so, so then below that was just, an opt-in that was, hey, get your free coupon, come in to meet Matt, for the flooring needs. And so the things it had on the opt-in, though, that were required was name, email, and it had a drop down that they could tell him, I'm from Eagle, I'm from Meridian, or I'm from Boise. So he would have that info. So then he can create, a segmented list, right? For just see people, that kind of stuff. So that was really, really, really important to him. And then we didn't get the chance to do it, but in our presentation, we talked to him about, obviously we would be doing Facebook pixels and stuff like that to do retargeting just to those people. And then the coupon, and then at the very, very bottom was
this like an opt-in page then? Or
yeah,
okay.
It's just like a video opt-in page. And then at the very bottom was a really cool thing for people that are creating social proof. It was the Facebook, connected to his Facebook page. So when people even go to that page, it will start to collect a lot of those comments and just create more social proof for him, which is really important. So
that's okay. So it was it's kind of like a lead gen. Now, would he go follow up after? Because this sounds like, I mean, this is like a really simple but powerful funnel. I mean, so is it 2 pages?
Yeah, well, it was
like
it was just 2 pages, and then the download that, you know, they could click to get the download for the coupon. So yeah, it was just an opt-in and a thank you.
The only reason I bring that up is because some people think like these funnels have to be huge. You know, there's so many things you have to put in it. You got to have 3 upsells and a downsell, and you know, and often no, you really don't. I've been building for real estate, and I mean, they're just 2 pages, but they're so powerful. It's the way you use them, the messages. I love that. That's what you focus on with the messaging.
Yeah, and the most important things to him. You know, once we've figured out this is what I want it to do, this is the most important thing. Of course, you can build other funnels for different functions, right?
Yeah.
You could say, like, we could have made, you know, like a sales page, or send them to a sales page. It was like, hey, and we have like a carpet sale, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't want to do that. Like that was cheesy to him, and he wasn't, you know, interested in putting anything on sale because his stuff is highly valuable and he doesn't have to put stuff on sale. And so,
awesome.
So to drive traffic, a lot of times, you know, even for me, and this is like, I don't know, I would think this is a really good thing that people should be, you know, writing down right now. So for me, I built a Facebook page from my community, right? Because I am I'm building a community. And so I started building this Facebook page, and I was just on my Facebook page, and I was like, hey, we have our free support group, right? And people were going there. And then I realized I don't have anybody's information. So everybody in the Facebook group, yeah, it's cool if they see my post in a Facebook group, but I'm never going to be able to get in contact with them, you know, at all besides that Facebook group. And so then I created literally 1 page, right? That is for me, that says, you know, they go there and they put in their information, and then they get to click the button, and it takes them right to the Facebook page where they can, you know, ask to gain access. But then I have the information, and I have a list that's like my Facebook group, people that opted in for the free support group, and I can build a list on that. And so having that functionality, I think a lot of people discount the value that can actually bring you in your business. It works great for social proof. It works great for anybody building in a community or a lifestyle business. And so, you know, a lot of times people just go to, it's really important to sell, you know, just do like an opt-in, take them straight to a sales page.
Yeah.
And for me, it's been so much more profitable to do, you know, this lead page, add value, then more people buy, you know, when they actually see my upsell and my downsell and that kind of stuff. But that's like my, you know, a totally different funnel and a totally different product that serves a different purpose. So how are you breaking even on ad costs usually? You know, because that's something usually that, as far as funnel methodology goes, is usually pounded into us, you know, up front. You know, well, I guess it sounds like you're putting them in the normal Facebook group itself. So I put them into the Facebook group itself, but I also, I sell right from my page. I do have a running ad for me, for my lifestyle company.
Oh, cool.
That is, you know, recipe book. I have my, I run ads to get people to know my page exists.
Sure.
You know, so I spend money on that every single day. That doesn't make me any money, except that it gets them to my Facebook page, which then they can, you know, have social proof and see kind of where I'm.
I'm sorry, we've got someone right outside the window.
I'm looking around my room like, I don't think that's me.
No. So I'm using. Maybe I'll pause it in the actual recording right here, because so it's the same lady. Anyways, yesterday Russell was on a call with someone, and he this lady always comes at the exact same time that we're always doing anything that has to do with recording at all ever, and she's always like trimming the hedges. It's never like
hilarious.
It's never like she's mowing the lawn or something like that. She's trimming hedges with like this
right outside the window,
literally on the other side of it, and she gives us the dirtiest looks on the other side of the window.
Yeah, it is funny. It's the way, if people don't know that this is how business works,
yeah,
they haven't been in business long enough. Like, to have just like, really? Like, this is happening right now? Like, that's just the way it works.
She just stepped back into the parking lot, and she like put her hands on her hips, and she's like tilting her head, making sure that it's all level. She doesn't know I'm in here right now.
No, I'm pretty sure she sees that you're in there. She's like, let me see. Is he still on that call? Let me go back and try it again.
Yeah, I don't know. She's wearing sunglasses, and it's like dark out still. And we're almost done. And we're not done.
Well, I hope the hedges are amazing. I think you need to go take a picture.
And... woo! Okay, we're done.
Hey, done. Awesome.
So for minute 38, for a while. Anyways. So
I'm going to just really finish and say, I think that a lot of people, so they try to make things complex for two reasons. One, they just want to make money, right? And so they're thinking of like all the different ways. Hey, how are all these different ways that I can break even and make money, right?
Yeah.
Or two, they don't really have that idea of like, what is this function going to do for me? Like, if I build this funnel,
yeah,
what is it going to do for the person I'm serving? And what is it going to do for me? Like, where am I going to lead them? And I think that being able to target correctly saves me tons of money. Being able to do that research, spending time doing the research. If you don't want to spend the time yourself, pay somebody to do it, right? Because you will save so much money on ad spend. Because I target the exact person that wants what I have.
Yeah.
So if you're not targeting that and you're just like, oh, I don't know, like women would probably want this, like you're going to waste so much money. And so being able to target more specifically will save so much more money on the back end. So
that's awesome. I know we've been going a little while, and I just want to thank you so much for this. I actually wanted to ask, where can people find your book? I mean, that's not a small thing to go through and write a book.
It's going to be like so awesome. And I want to tell you, so although it wasn't ClickFunnels, obviously, that wrote the book.
Sure.
It was because I built an incredible funnel. It was before I even knew, like, I didn't even know about free plus shipping.
Yeah.
I did a JV with somebody that wrote an original book, and nobody had read his book. And so he pitched me on it, and I said, yeah, like that's exactly what I teach. That's what my book's going to be about. And so I built a funnel, and I built it into a really easy group coaching program that they got the book and they got the program. And that first month, that first 2 weeks, I didn't even know how to we had it on Amazon. I didn't even know how to get it to people. So
yeah.
When they were buying it, I was literally like using a gift card in my own Amazon account that was like shipping to somebody else. So I have like 500 names in my Amazon account with their addresses. Cause I didn't know, because I didn't know how awesome the funnel was going to be, but we sold over 580 books in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And the only reason we didn't continue is because I had 2 teenagers on different laptops placing orders. Like I wasn't set up to be able to have 500 people buy. But because of that, the publisher was like, okay, we need to publish your book. Like, can we? So they contacted me.
Wow.
Which was awesome, because 2 years ago they didn't care what I had to say. So it's fun to like actually prove like, hey, I do know what I'm saying. I can help a lot of people, and my book needs to be on bookshelves. So that will be in mostly the Utah, Idaho area, in Barnes & Noble, Deseret Book, Sam's Club, Costco in the end of December and in January. And then, of course, it will be online So I'm a Fit Mormon is the community. And then, of course, I have my own personal Facebook page, just Liz Tennyson. And yeah, that's
awesome.
That's how they can find me.
Liz Tennyson. Now, where is, what's the name of the book? Is it I'm a Fit Mormon?
No, so it's called Fit for Good.
Fit for Good.
It's not even specifically for Mormons. I just obviously have that niche that I speak to and help, but it's actually, it's Christian based. It's really with the premise to take anybody, not just women, anybody from the idea of like weight loss and like eating low calories, right? Because that's kind of what the world tells us as part of like health.
Yeah.
To actually like what's the intention behind wanting to get fit? Like what's the intention? For me, I want to serve as many people as I can, and I need a ton of energy. I need to feel good. I need to think clearly. And so for me, like that's my intention. That's the reason I stay healthy. That's the reason I stay fit. And so taking people from the way the world tells people to be healthy, like the world tells you
a weird way to do it.
and to like sabotage your body and beat yourself up and then don't eat anything, to okay, like eat with intention, like eat, with consciousness, like pay attention to what you're doing functionality wise, to be having your blood pump in your body, and letting all your organs be able to do their own job. So it's not like a boring, like holistic book. But it is a Christian based book. I talk a lot about being able to serve more people, and being able to really feel and gain inspiration from God, that we can really go out and do a lot of good things if we're fit and healthy. So it's called Fit for Good, and it will be ready at the end of the year.
Why is she back? She's looking at the same bush.
I just can't.
This is crazy. Anyways, I want to thank you very much for jumping on this. This is, I always take notes. I literally have a full page of notes. Just all the stuff that you said. You focus on what is the actual funnel going to be doing for people. Build a culture around the product. It's really important. Do you know who you're selling to specifically and how that saves lots of money? You mentioned, which is awesome, don't chase the shiny object.
Yeah.
Stop. Don't be so complex. Be simple. And Russell actually sat me down and had to talk about that a little bit a while ago because I was all over the place. And as soon as I did, though, and focused, stuff started happening. So it's fantastic. So
yeah.
Anyways, thank you so much for all you've done. So Fit for Good is the name of the book. Then you go to imafitmormon.com. .org.
Yeah.
imafitmormon.org.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there anywhere else people should go to, follow you?
Just on Facebook. I do all my stuff on Facebook or Instagram. So under Liz Tennyson, and then I'm a Fit Mormon.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Liz. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
This was super fun. All right.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Sales Funnel Radio. Please remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Have a question you want answered on the show? Get your free t-shirt when your question gets answered on the live Hey Steve show. Visit salesfunnelbroker.com now to submit your question.